What's going on, people? Welcome to DR Sports and welcome to Game Day Preview. Welcome back.
Live.
Welcome back to England.
Oh, man, it's good to be... Well, you know what? Is it good to be back? Because I was having such a great time in Nigeria, man. What a wonderful country. I recommend anybody go and check it out, man. It's such... it was... The football fans over there are so passionate. You as a United fan, you'd like it because there's a lot of United fans there.
Yeah, I bet.
Loads of Arsenal fans. I think United and Arsenal are the two best supported teams there, then probably Chelsea next. And the fans are passionate, but then the country's nice, man. There's so much to do, so much to see, you know, and yeah, we had a great time over there. And I recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, you look like you had a blast, man. Big up
Yeah,
to
it was.
all of the fans out there in Nigeria. Obviously, they're going to be big supporters of DR Sports as well as Arsenal.
Yeah,
as well. Just
massive,
the support and
yeah.
love they've been giving you lot, man.
Yeah, massive support to the Premier League. And you know, I mean, it was outstanding out there. And, Africa as a continent as a whole, when it comes to football, is so passionate about the game, and I want to see more of our teams going there. Because I don't think enough of our teams get out there to play. If you look at it, you probably see...
It's always Asia.
Yeah,
a lot of America.
Yeah. Basically where they go where the money is. Right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, when they go to America and Australia and China and these places, they're going to get paid a lot of money for going there. But I feel that sometimes you got to go to those countries as well. All right, they may not pay you, they'll pay you a lot of money, but they may not pay you as much money. But the fans over there are super duper passionate. They are watching every Premier League game, you know. So I think some of the football teams need to start going there more and showing those fans more love. But it was an honour to go out there and to do what we did, and we'll be back.
I don't know how you made it through with some of them characters you went with, though.
It was tough. It's tough, man. Thai collectory, you know what I mean? Jesus. Right, it's hard work, but it was brilliant fun.
You made it work.
Brilliant fun.
But obviously, business has been resuming since here. Obviously, while you was out there at your watch party, Arsenal got a 2-1 win against West Ham. We'll talk about what that means for your top four chances and what it means for West Ham, etc. And all the other games as well. And we're going to start, I know it's not the same competition, but we're going to start with Manchester City versus Newcastle. But we need to have a conversation, right, about Manchester City. Because, one, we need to talk about how damaging that loss last night against Real Madrid could potentially be in their quest to fend off Liverpool. Liverpool, you look at how they turned theirs around and look at what happened to City. Could that be a momentum shift that now filters into the league? We'll talk about that. But this thing, I have to say, this thing that City fans seem to keep doing, I don't like it. And is it a form of Man United thing because I don't like City? Yes, it is. So I don't care if you want to call me by it. I don't care. Listen, City have had money since what? 2008, 2009, when they're getting Robinho and all these kind of things, yeah? They've won titles before Pep even got there, titles under Pep. They've cleaned out the EFL Cup, made it theirs, 4 in a row, whatever it was. They've got FA Cups. They're challenging Centurions, yeah? Getting to latter stages of Champions League. You don't get to bottle it at them critical moments, yeah? And give it this, the boys done well, I remember you used to be in Division 2, No, you don't get to do that now. You've been at the top for too long. I'm not letting them off with that. That just shows me that you're still thinking like you're not a big club. So when people label you with it and then City fans get angry, we are elite, we're this, we're that. I got big respect for what Pep Guardiola's done. Unbelievable manager. City's team, unbelievable team. But when it comes to the crunch moments and it don't go your way, I don't think you get to wave the white flag and drop that expectation. Say, it was a nice trip away to the Bernabeu. Nice in Spain. The boys didn't quite get over the line, but man. You're Man City with big Pep Guardiola and all them players. You don't.
I agree with you on that. I do think you're being a bit, you're rubbing it in a bit because you're a Man United fan, right? So you enjoyed last night. Andy Tate.
Yeah.
Right. He must have sent me about 10 different memes, right, of Man City. I mean, he was loving it, right? But I do agree with you on what you're saying. And I mean, it's not. They have to start operating like, if you're an elite club, you should be very, very, very disappointed with what happened last night. You can't just look on it and say little old City. You're not little old City no more. You're a big club. That was a very damaging defeat. You know what I mean? A very bit embarrassing, really.
The manner of it was disgusting.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
you're a couple of minutes away. They
capitulated.
Too.
If you really think about it, Manchester City capitulated.
Of course they
I've
did.
not really heard anybody else use that word yet.
That's exactly
what
I'm
using it. They capitulated because if you've got like about a minute left, or what was it, 2 minutes left, and you concede 2 goals, then you're still not out of it, right? And then in extra time, you go and give away a stupid penalty, right? That's capitulation. That is capitulation. You were in a position of, complete power, and you've capitulated. And I also look on it and think to myself, I think Manchester City won that game yesterday. Sorry, Real Madrid won that game yesterday because they are a big club. The tradition of winning, the real big trophies.
In that competition, yeah.
They're in their stadium and they're like, yo, even though there's a couple of minutes left, we're Real Madrid. We're not dead yet.
Yes.
We could still pull something out of the bag.
Exactly.
That belief that, where I think City are still an emerging club, or still maybe acting like an emerging club, and that's why they didn't get over the line.
Yeah.
But certainly it was capitulation. The second time I've seen that this season from them, and they did the same thing against that game in the game when they lost to Tottenham.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All they needed to be was a sensible. Even though you conceded that first goal,
Weren't streetwise.
just see it out.
Weren't
Just
streetwise.
Yeah,
Is
look what Real Madrid did after. In that extra time, you barely
Hacking
saw
it away, fouling.
Yeah, you barely saw like
streetwise.
2 minutes straight of football, did you?
Yeah, exactly.
All they did was they just slowed it down. They hacked people down. They took fouls. They kicked it out. They.
Yeah. There was a meme. We got it up there as well. From it's been circulating now because Yaya Touré's agent in 2018, obviously he had a bad time with Pep when he come to City. He said Pep turned all of Africa against himself. I'm sure that many African shamans in the future will not allow Guardiola to win the Champions League. This will be for Guardiola and the African curse. Life will show whether I'm right or not. There's a bit of juju on him. Do you know what I'm saying? The juju's come for Pep, bro. Like, he was winning Champions Leagues before. Do you know what I mean? He can't do it at the moment. And you know what? It's funny. Speaking of Nigerians, actually, there was a Nigerian journalist in the presser, and before the game, he said to Pep, he said on Twitter, in Twitter Spaces, Pep, one side, Nigeria, whatever, they all say you're the GOAT, best manager ever. The other side say he's no good because he can't win the Champions League without Xavi and Messi and Iniesta. What do you think to that? He actually asked him. Anytime there's like Nigerian pressers in there, they always ask something out there. I love it. He said, I agree. He said, I am nothing without these players. Xavi, I 100% agree. I agree. Taking the mick.
Yeah.
But to finish off on that before we go on to the Premier League and get into some super chats as well, I just feel like they needed to be... You see what Katie Taylor done the other day? When she dug deep, when she was rocked.
Yeah.
They needed that. They needed like a bit of like, you've been knocked, you've conceded, let's settle down. Even when it got back to when they scored 2 and it went to extra time, settle down, Diaz, idiot. Dangle leg. Do you know what I mean? And that proves the critical moments. Kevin De Bruyne, we're going to talk about that. He got hooked. He's supposed to be clutch.
But the game's supposed to... No, but you know what? I disagree.
No, the best players... Zidane's never coming off then. Xavi's never...
No,
the top man are not coming off then.
I disagree with you here, right?
Not coming
the
off.
Game,
it's uncomfortable, but it's true.
The game's near the end. Real Madrid need to score 2 goals. You've got an important game coming up at the weekend to win the title. I can see why you hooked him. He's taking him off trying to reserve him back for those games.
Nah, mate, you don't. You've never won the Champions League.
No,
Robbie.
2 goals.
You don't get. Listen, teams that can do that.
2 goals.
Teams that do that are teams that have won it before and know what it takes to win it. You ain't got no business. Oh, I'm gonna rest him for. Well, you're arguably your best player. You don't get to do that. You've never won it before.
I just feel that
you don't get to do that.
It's a capitulation. They should never have lost that game. But then let's just say, before you move on to talk about the Premier League, right? Real Madrid, I think they're going to win it. I'm sorry, Liverpool fans. It's written. They did against PSG.
It's not luck, is it?
They're dead against PSG. They come back, they win that. They're dead against Chelsea. Look what they did. And then again last night. No, that's 3 now.
It's because the truth is that they were never really dead. That's the truth. You're not, and it's fitting because you're not dead until you're dead in football. To the final whistle goes, it just proves it.
You know, I've got to big up Raul. our resident Real Madrid fan who's been
he was
all the
insane. I'd done the first leg with him. And the Manchester City fan, I forgot his name.
He's unbelievable. And when he was saying, bring more English clubs, bring more...
He was going in.
Big up Raul, man.
What
Trust
a guy.
me.
He deserved that. And he said last week when I interviewed him, right there, I said, how are you feeling for next week? He said, we are Madrid. We are Madrid.
That's it.
You know
but that's what you're saying again.
He said it.
There's no one who's going to say, we are City. And they might say that in the Premier League, but they're not going to say that in Europe. They're saying little old City is what you're saying. They're saying little. You're 100%. Not little old City no more. Did you see Mark T here with the super chat? He says the problem with City is that they operate with money. Chelsea was like that. That's how they became successful. They will never struggle like other clubs.
At least Chelsea got over the
As
line.
for Arsenal, we do not operate like that, right? But the thing is,
Chelsea got it done though.
Chelsea
You
got
can't
it done.
talk to Chelsea.
Chelsea have got it done.
Chelsea won the thing last year against them.
Guy says Sanchez says champions of Europe. You'll never sing that.
Yep.
Is he talking to me or City fans?
Probably both. both of you. The pair of you. But listen, in all honesty, look, I've got a lot of respect for Pep Guardiola and what he's done.
He's a great manager. But he's still great as far as
I know it can come across salty and stuff, but it's just an observation that I always keep seeing, and I let them get away with it a couple of times last year against Chelsea. They'll be all right. But I'm like, nah, man, you don't get to be allowed to continually downplay your stature when you're big. You don't get to do that. You've entered the big boy territory now. Do you know what I mean? So
they threw it away.
And you threw it away.
Yeah, I mean, this
it wasn't like you fought well and then you just got a bit unlucky.
It's a capitulation.
That's disgusting. If I travelled to Spain to go watch that, I know I've travelled to Spain this year to go watch worse, but I'm saying if you're at that level, because this isn't about, it's not about my team, it's not about your team, it's about talking about Manchester City. If I went there and I see a capitulation, I'm asking serious questions.
Listen, as simple as that, it's a capitulation.
Serious questions. But let's talk about the impact that will have now. Let's get into the Premier League previews of it. Manchester City take on Newcastle now. They've got to dust themselves down. Manchester City have lost just one of their last 28 league games against Newcastle, winning 23.
They're lucky that game's at home.
Yes.
They're lucky that game's at home, even before you start dishing out stats, If that was at Newcastle, because they must be, I don't care what no one says, those City players are going to be wounded.
Yes.
That's a horrible way to go out, right? They're going to be wounded. So, but they got them at home. It's going to depend on... Because, we've all been on the back of those sort of games, innit, as fans, where you go and you've lost the big one and then you've got a next week player and it's so flat. Will it be really flat there? Or will the fans still recognise, Man City fans still recognise the fact that it can still be a good season if they win the league?
This is where my respects, I'm not just going to be, just because I'm a rival fan, just, say, they're going to lose the league now. I do think they will respond. One thing about Pep Guardiola's teams... they can play extremely high levels. The only question mark that is over that team is the Champions League. You can't question them in the league. They've gone out of the Champions League in all the years, obviously, because they've never won it and still gone on to win the league before. They've had that experience before. They know what that's like. And they now know, obviously getting knocked out of the FA Cup. They didn't win the EFL Cup. That's it now. They got one more trophy. They only can get one trophy. So for them, it's all eyes on that. If anything, you could argue that, it galvanises them again to let them go again. So I do think, there could be a bit cagey and stuff like that, but
they have to win it.
They have to win it. Because you look at Liverpool, which again, we're talking a bit more depth about what their game was and what their game is against Spurs. We'll talk about that. But the manner of which they won against Villarreal after having a shocking first half and sorting it out and cruising to victory, that momentum that they've now built and seeing City capitulate like that, City need to show that there's no momentum shift. They need to win. I don't know if they played before, and they do. They need to win that comfortably and say over to you.
Yeah, City played before, don't they?
Yeah.
So because there's a weird time on the Liverpool Tottenham game is on about 7:00.
Yeah, it's on straight after the Man United game.
So they have the chance to put a lot of pressure on to Liverpool because that's going to be a tough game for Liverpool. So. Big chance to put a lot of pressure on, but I'm going for a City win. Newcastle at home, very strong. On the road, not as strong. City, like you said, they will respond. They have to respond. Sachiver with the Super Chat says his prediction, 3-1 to City. I don't think I can disagree with that. I think City will win it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because even in that game they lost yesterday, they had chances. Again, Grealish at the end.
They were comfortable for large parts.
Comfortable for most of the game, and they had chances. So I fully expect them to respond.
I agree. I'm going to match you on that. I think City will Pep will get into them.
Some people there saying it might be a draw. Yusuf's side says it might be a draw. Revenite FC says 2-2. So
could be, yeah.
But I don't know. I think that's a must win, and they will win.
This is interesting now. Your team, Arsenal, big win. Obviously, you enjoyed it out there in Nigeria in the watch part. That was
it wasn't a great performance.
It was not a great performance. But you are at that stage of the season where who gives a crap about performances? Exactly. You just got to get 3 points on the board. That's it. It's as simple as that. West Ham obviously are playing against Eintracht Frankfurt tonight. Whether they go through or not, we don't know. You might face a West Ham team that's on a high.
No, West Ham.
Sorry, you beat them already. Sorry,
you beat that up already.
Yeah, you beat that up already.
Leeds.
Leeds. Sorry. So West Ham. Sorry, someone put Europa League. Just made me think of Europa League. You got through against West Ham, which was a tough ask.
Very tough game.
Leeds are now fighting for their lives again.
Yep.
They've been dragged back into it. There was a period where I thought Leeds would be okay, but Burnley have had a big say. Everton have picked that big win against Chelsea, and Brentford kind of took themselves away from it. And Leeds are now back where they started a little bit, kind of struggling again.
They're in the most trouble.
Yeah.
Leeds. You know what? It's a game that both teams must really win. Well, I say on Leeds' part, they need at least a point.
Yeah.
We need to win it, obviously.
Yeah, you must win that.
You know, we're going to be under pressure because we will see what happens the night before, because our game's on a Sunday at 2:00. The night before, Tottenham go to play Liverpool, as we're going to talk about later. It's a must-win game for Arsenal. This is a chance, right? If Liverpool beat Tottenham at Anfield, which surely they're going to be the favourites to, because they haven't lost a game there this season. If Arsenal beat Leeds, they will then go into that game against Tottenham with a 5-point advantage, which means that if we went to Tottenham Stadium next week Thursday when we play them and beat them, that's it. The top four's over.
Or if you lose, you're still all right.
If we lose, we'd still be all right. But if we won the game, the top four would be over. And that is a huge incentive. But we saw Arsenal last week. I thought they looked very nervy in the first half. I thought in the second half we picked it up. We were a lot better. But in the first half, we were nervous. We were sloppy, giving away loads of different, giving the ball away every minute. I mean, it was a very poor first half. We got the job done. We won ugly. But it's a massive game. And Leeds, if you actually look at it, Flex, right? I don't know if you've seen Leeds' games that they have left.
Yeah. I got Chelsea after you.
I personally think, right, that they could be the team that go.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Burnley's game, number one, Burnley have got the momentum. And Burnley have got the points on the board. They're on the same amount of points as Leeds, right? I think Everton are 2 points back, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right, but they've got a game in hand. But what it is with Everton, I think Everton, a lot of their home games, they're capable of winning. And most of their games left are at home. And they're capable of winning those games, right? In the case of Burnley, they just got momentum. You could see them. You wouldn't really want to be playing Burnley right now, especially, right? But Leeds, look at their games. They've got us, right? Then they got to go and play Chelsea. Then they got to play Brighton. That's not easy.
And
look how Brighton have been beaten. And then last game of the season, Brentford away. That's a very tough run-in.
Yep.
So I think it's going to be one of those games where, both teams are going to be a bit nervy to start with, because until it settles down, there's no Dallas for Leeds. That's a big player they're missing.
Yeah, bad injury.
I fancy Arsenal for that game. I really do. At home, I really do fancy Arsenal. There's a bit of momentum flowing through the team right now. As I said, we didn't play well last week, but still got the job done. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal in that game.
Yeah. Wouldn't mind seeing Leeds go down.
Don't bother me. Don't bother United me, fans, man. You hate City, you hate Leeds, you hate Liverpool, you hate everyone, man.
That's right, man. No, but to be fair, having them back in the league and going to Ellen Road, hostile as anything.
I loved
winning
Ellen
there
Road
was unbelievable, wicked. Most amount of police I've ever seen in a game, but yeah, it was it was good. But if they go down, they're not going to get sorries for me. I was saying under
I'd like them to stay up, but obviously, we ain't doing them no favours this weekend.
No, and I feel like you will win that game. I do. Arsenal unbeaten in the last 11 meetings with Leeds in all competitions, winning 9, drawing 2 since a 3-2 home defeat in May 2003. I seem to remember the blue Strongbow kit with Viduka scoring at Highbury then.
Yeah,
I think that was when they last beat you. I think I remember that. Maybe Harry Kewell scored that. I remember that
stopped us from winning the title.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So
Harry
they haven't
Kewell.
done it since then. So then I don't see them doing it now. Leeds haven't kept a clean sheet in any of their last 12 away league games against Arsenal, winning 3, drawing 0 and losing 9 since a goalless draw in February 1993. So since 1993, they ain't even stopped you scoring at home. I see this really difficult for Leeds. I like Jesse Marsch, how he comes across. I like how he speaks about the game. I like how he presents himself. I like what he's done with the team, to be fair. They're not as open. And actually, if you look at Leeds' results when he first came in, I think they won against Norwich in the last minute. They went to Wolves and were 2-0 down at half-time, come back 1-3-2. They've had some decent results. Draw against Southampton. They weren't losing games. He shored them up. Played against Man City last game. Okay, 4-0. Fine. That's the City. They still played all right. I watched that game. They still did okay. But to go away to the Emirates and then play Chelsea, they've got 2 tough games at an awful time. So
very tough.
I think they lose that 2-0. Yeah, I do. Let's go to the big one. Let's go to the big one because this does directly affect you. Liverpool versus Tottenham.
Big game.
Saturday night.
Potential banana skin, Robbie Noodle, the super chat says.
Yeah, let's get a few comments actually before
for Liverpool. But, this is the one I want to hear the stats on. Now, give me them stats.
You want the stats, yeah?
I need some reassurance.
Okay.
Because I'm getting nervous about this one as well.
Okay, well, here's one for you.
All right.
Liverpool have lost only 1 of their last 27 Premier League home games against Tottenham.
I like that stat.
1 out of the last 27.
All right.
Winning 18 and drawing 8.
Okay, that one.
And are unbeaten in their last 10 since a 2-0 loss in May 2011.
Okay, like that stat. You got any more?
After winning 4 of their 5 Premier League meetings with Liverpool between November 2010 and 2012, Spurs have won just 1 of their last 18 against the Reds, drawing 5 and losing 12.
I like that. Give me one more. Man. Now I'm feeling better.
Liverpool are unbeaten in 21 Premier League home games, scoring 52 and conceding just 9. They've won each of their last 12 at Anfield, including the last 5 while keeping a clean sheet. Only once have they had a longer run of home wins without conceding in the Premier League. 8 games.
They are unbelievable at Anfield. I don't think they've lost a game this season at Anfield. They haven't lost. Not this season. They haven't lost a game at Anfield. They are unbelievable. The momentum's with them. They had that comeback win during the week where, listen, Spurs will take heart from the fact that they went 2-0. If they go 2-0 down to Spurs, I don't think they'd be able to drag it back like what they did during the week, right? But they're unbelievable at Anfield. They've got everything to play for. They're going to be under pressure because they would have known, either way, whichever way that turns out, the City game before them. If City win the game, they know they have to win. If City lose the game, they still know they have to win to ram home the advantage. So it's a huge game for Liverpool, as much as it is a huge game for Tottenham. If Tottenham go there, it's all about momentum at this time of season. Tottenham go to Anfield, win that game. Going into the game against Arsenal in the North London derby, they will be very confident that they could beat us. They've got a great record against us at home and then get that top 4. It's Conte, so I'm going to give Tottenham a chance because of that. They beat City, and I think Antonio Conte is the sort of guy that he can set them up on the counter.
And get a draw or something. Yeah,
but I can't back against Liverpool, man. At Anfield, they are so good.
Yeah.
Sachiv says prediction: Liverpool 2-1 against Spurs. The City game. Remember that game again? City
should have won the game,
and then they
Harry
again
Kane just
capitulated
turned
at
on,
the end. And
Exactly,
I think the
weak
one
mentality.
thing, I think the difference between Liverpool and City is that I think defensively, I think Liverpool are more solid. They've got, Konate, or whether it be Matip and Van Dijk, Robertson, of course Trent, but then they also have sitting in front of them that little shield of Fabinho. I think that's a bit more of a solid makeup than what we see at City, and I just get the feeling that Sadio Mane's on fire. Diaz, this guy's a joke, man. Trust me,
unbelievable.
Listen, there's players I enjoy watching in this Premier League, and he's one of them. What a baller!
You have to
but then
true.
being real about it and try not to be too biased. That Kulusevski has been very good for Tottenham. Harry Kane, as we know, give him a chance.
Son was fantastic against Leicester last game.
You know what I mean? So they've got the killers up front, but do Spurs have the defence and the midfield to cope with Liverpool? I don't think they do. I mean, I don't think they do.
I
don't think they do, man. Salah, Diaz.
They can't. They won't. I believe they can give Liverpool problems. High line, Son in behind, might even start Mora or Kulusevski obviously doing his thing, running in behind. Harry Kane dropping off, maybe finding Son. They can cause problems. We saw it against City in the big games. Spurs can cause you problems, but like you said, Liverpool hunting what they're hunting at Anfield. Under the lights, night game. That's not. It's not falling very well for Spurs, that game, even that being like a night game kind of thing. Just
and I mean, it won't be dark because it'll still be quite light at this time of year. But I could just imagine, like, especially after the win during the week, they're in the final. It's a little bit different to what we're saying with City, where it could be flat. That game will not be flat.
Here's another stat for you as well. Liverpool keeper Alisson has kept 20 clean sheets in the Premier League this season among goalkeepers. Only Petr Cech in the 04-05 season. Van der Sar 08-09, what team that was. And Alisson himself in 18. So he's in his own record thing. Have kept more in a single campaign. So.
Yeah. No, to me, Diaz has to start in that game.
Yes.
And obviously Mane. I think Mane's been brilliant this season. I've not really heard many people saying it, but I think he's got to be up there for the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, with the year he's had.
If he wins the Champions,
if he doesn't go to Benzema,
he wins the Champions League, right? I think if Real Madrid win the Champions League, I'll give it to Benzema.
Yeah.
I think if Liverpool win the Champions League, I'm going to give it to Mane. He won the African Cup of Nations, and he was the deciding guy.
Got him to the World Cup.
He got him to the World Cup. He was the deciding guy. He's been brilliant for Liverpool all season, and if they won the Champions League, he'd be my person to get it.
I'm not having him over Benzema in any eventuality for me, but
he's up. Big games he's been up there.
If you're going to think of a couple of names that can rival Benzema for it,
if they win the Champions League, he gets it.
I'm still not giving it to him.
You're still not giving it. Yeah, you wouldn't.
No,
would you?
No, it's not. Nah, it's not even just the Liverpool
you
thing.
You wouldn't.
No, because I accept he should definitely be in the conversation. Benzema, bro, like, I don't think people are realising the clutchness of, like, Liverpool, I believe, and I could be wrong because, Real Madrid hopefully will go on to beat Liverpool, but Liverpool are a better outfit. Do you know what I mean? They're a better team, they're well organised, they're high energy, they've got less flaws than them.
Are they?
They're very good. But Benny, like, when his teams almost made them, like, because the defence is crap, Militao's doing nonsense, or Mendy and the left back just going to sleep, and Carvajal not quite, so they concede stupid goals. He's single-handedly doing it.
So was Mane. Mane single-handedly for Senegal.
What if Benzema win the league as well? He won the league as well. He scored the most goals there as well.
Liverpool could win the league.
Yeah, what if they don't?
Single-handedly, right, for Senegal in those African Cup of Nations. He won it for them. Not single-handedly, but he's the main guy, and then qualifying, beating Egypt, knocking out his mate Salah, and been brilliant in the league. If he wins the Champions League, I give it to Mane.
43 goals in 43 games for Benzema. No better player in the world than him.
Easier league.
But you see,
easier league to score in. I'm sorry.
But we say
easier league to score in. No, it is.
No.
to scoring.
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm not.
I
Listen,
don't like that.
I'm not dissing La Liga.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I'm not dissing La Liga because you can't diss La Liga.
You just see Real Madrid just bruck up Chelsea,
and they had two teams,
and bruck up Man City.
They had two teams in the final, in the semi-finals, right?
Yeah.
La Liga is a good league, but I'm sorry, when you're playing against, was it Cadiz and these teams? Those teams are not on the levels of some of the teams in the Premier League. It's harder to score.
Yeah, but when Benzema's come up against the best of the best, he's done
he's
it straight away.
I'm not dissing him, he's brilliant. I'm saying 43 goals, would he score that in the Premier League? It's very difficult to do that in the Premier League.
Do you know what I think about the Premier League? Just because you brought it into my mind, because a lot of people say it, like, it's the best league in the world. I think it's like, I think it's the most intense league in the world with like maybe the pace of it and stuff, but the actual quality of ball, the quality of play.
Best league in the world.
I don't think it's the best for quality. I actually don't. I actually think when you look at some teams, how they play ball, in Spain and stuff like that, even in Germany, the technical ability of them players,
technical ability in the Premier League is
of the quality of the play. But if you look at someone like Burnley, and the way they play, you look at other teams.
Yeah, but there's many other teams you could look at like that in Spain.
But I think,
and in Italy and in Germany, you know what I mean? The quality of the Premier League is up there.
Anonymous says the Liga clubs won't make it through the Championship. That's ridiculous.
Well, that's ridiculous. But listen, the quality of the... You know what? When I was over in Nigeria the other day, right, I was watching the TV, And obviously, you know, in those countries, they get every game, right? It's not like, here, we got to pay for everything. They get every game, And I remember I was watching, like, Juventus playing. And I was like... And then I turned over and I was watching a Premier League game, right? And it was just a much better game, play at a higher tempo, more closing down, so you had less space, and the quality was up there. And then, you know, I look at the players, even people used to say, but the English players don't have the technical ability. Look at guys like Phil Foden, Saka. Yeah, I mean, if you look at English football now, look at the academies and the players that they're producing. It's not like once upon a time. You know, that's why the English clubs are dominating this year again. They dominated the Champions League, didn't they? Right? They dominated it last year. Yeah? The English club won it, dominated it. The year before, English clubs again dominated the Champions League.
Bayern Munich won it the year before that.
Yeah, but English clubs were involved right up to near the end.
Bayern Munich PSG.
And then the previous year, it was an all-English final. You know, come on. In the Europa League, potentially West Ham could get to the final. Last year, I think who was it? Who was I can't remember last year's final. But the year
I forgot.
We got to the semi-final.
I forgot it was in Europa League final last year.
Also got to the semi-final, wasn't it? Right. The year before,
Villarreal broke us up, mate.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That was last year.
All right, yeah, but you lost.
Unai Emery's a specialist in the thing.
No, but you lost the final.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
The year before that, Sevilla knocked us out and all.
Right, but regardless of that, our English team got to the final. Our English team got to the semi-final.
Yeah.
The previous year, an English team got to the final and won it. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying.
I feel like that's unfair to say to Benzema, who is top, because that's like saying, if Benzema come to England, if Benzema played in the Premier League, would he be one of the top scorers in the league?
Of course he would.
He would.
He would.
So the fact that it's an easier thing in there, I'm not saying that to Benzema.
But he wouldn't. I don't think he scored 43 goals.
I
don't think he scored 43.
He's done that in all games, I think.
I don't think that's in all comps. How much has he scored? How much has he scored in La Liga?
Somebody put that in there. Someone let us know how much he scored.
I think it's easier to score goals in La Liga, and I'm not taking anything away from Benzema. I do think if they win it, he should be the Ballon d'Or. But I think it's easier to score goals in the Premier League, in La Liga than it is in the Premier League. You know, because you've got a lot of teams that you play against. I'm sorry, Espanyol and those teams are not at the same level as a lot of Premier League teams. Those teams may be in the Championship.
We should put a poll up, actually. I don't know if Jay can do it in the back. Jace, can you put a poll up?
By the way, Robin Hood said, spot on Robbie, shouting out the Liverpool defence. Van Dijk is unbeaten in 63 Premier League home games. Jesus.
Unbelievable.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Militao looking like Cecil, says Sachi.
He does look like Cecil.
100%.
Militao is Cecil. You know what I mean? I'm convinced of it.
For Ballon d'Or, we need a poll. Does Benzema deserve the Ballon d'Or over Sadio Mane
No, that wasn't the question.
Well, no, depending on, let me add this bit in. Should whoever wins the Champions League, basically, because they're playing against each other, should whoever wins the Champions League get the Ballon d'Or out of Salah, out of Mane, and what's his face? And Benzema. Yeah?
London Nomad says, if scoring in La Liga is easier than the Premier League, then so is scoring in AFCON compared to the Euros. But
That's a fair point.
I'll tell you what, scoring in AFCON's not easy either because they don't score a lot of goals in that thing. But I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying that.
I just won't have any disrespect on Benny. I don't want any form of easier this, it's easier
I am not
that.
disrespecting.
He is top draw. He's done it against the big man then. Done it.
I am not disrespecting Benzema.
Done it against Rudiger.
He's done it against all the English teams. He's been outstanding. But I'm just saying it's easier to score in Spain. If I'm looking through, right? If he's coming up against Osasuna, Rayo Vallecano, Elche, Espanyol, Getafe, Mallorca, Cadiz, Granada, Alaves, Levante. I'm sorry, some of those teams will be in the Championship. I agree with what that guy said that.
Okay.
Yeah? And you compare that to the Premier League, where you got, I think it's...
But is that just because we know what these teams inside out because we watch the Premier League? We know what Burnley are coming with. We know how you can get a hard game even if you go to Norwich sometimes. Like we know it because we watch it every week in, week out. Sometimes I feel we make these assumptions where we don't watch that league 90 minutes every game.
I've watched a lot of that league and I'm telling you, when you see some of those teams would not be in the Premier League.
Yeah, there's got to be some.
They would not be in the... You look at the quality of players... look at Everton.
There ain't no SPL though. I'm not having that. So it sounds like you're trying to make.
No, it's not the SPL.
It sound like some little Rangers Celtic thing.
It's not the SPL.
Livingston and Kilmarnock and them, man.
Everton are in the bottom three. They got players like Richarlison, and that will be able to play in the highest teams in Spain. They got players like Yerry Mina at the back and things like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and they're man of shit. Right? That's why they're down the bottom.
Yeah, but he's Espanyol and that we haven't got players of that caliber. So I'm saying it's harder to score in the Premier League. It's harder, I'm sorry. And I'm not taking anything away from Benzema.
Feels like you're being disrespectful to Benzema.
No, you're trying to put that in.
That's just what it feels like to me. It feels like you're saying, Mickey Mouse League, 42 and 42.
See what I'm
trying? You're playing down the dog and duck.
I see what you're trying to do here. You're trying to cause trouble, right? I am not disrespecting Benzema.
That's fine. As long as that's fine.
Benzema is probably deserves the Ballon d'Or. I'm just saying that at this moment in time, if I was doing the Ballon d'Or, it would go to Benzema, without a doubt.
Yeah. But you think the Champions League...
But I think if Liverpool won the Champions League, then I think I'll be giving it to Mane.
Okay. Brighton and Hove Albion versus Manchester United.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a dead rubber game. I'm going to do this as quickly as possible.
What dead game that is? Dead.
Brighton not playing for anything. Man United not playing for anything.
I'll give you a joke, right? Because he's coming back on Monday.
Don't give me no more banter. I can't, please.
It's coming back on Monday. It's at the airport, as I said. It's got a lot of United fans in Nigeria, right? And it's like a guy said to this guy who's obviously a Man United fan.
Yeah.
He goes, Man United are winning at that stage. It was 2-0. He goes, 2-0 against Brentford, Ronaldo. And I just see the guy that he said it to. He's obviously a United fan. He just went,
don't care.
That's how he did. Just went like, shut up, man. I'm not even interested. It's incredible what's happened to Man United this season. It really is.
I mean, look, we've been saying it week after week after week. I don't even need to explain myself anymore. Like, what more is left to say about Manchester United this year, apart from the games are just getting
apart from
rubber games, isn't it?
Apart from Ronaldo, right?
Anyone who said he's the problem, anyone who said he's finished, he's washed. You don't score them goals in this league.
No, he's not washed.
If you're washed. You don't.
You're talking about the Benzema thing being disrespectful. I think it's been disrespectful when people have been saying, he's messed up the whole team and stuff like that. I think that's disrespectful.
Yeah, it's not even
because
disrespectful.
Without him,
it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Where would they be without him?
Exactly. He's been
outstanding. Brighton they're a bit funny at home, aren't they?
Oh, they are funny at home.
Away from home.
I don't like this game at all.
Away from home, they're good, but at home, they're a bit...
Yeah. Check it out on United View, actually, coming up. We spent some time at Brighton yesterday.
Okay.
We went down there. They gave us a
nice stadium.
Really, really nice stadium. Really, really good people behind the scenes there. So check out that content on United View. And the pitch is lovely. Really nice stadium.
Great ground, great training facility as well.
Yes, exactly.
And a progressive team, you know what I mean? And, you know, big up their manager, Graham Potter.
Graham Potter's doing well.
Great, you know.
I look at...
Should you have considered him?
No. I feel like Graham Potter, and this is, again, you can never say never, but for me, I think he needs that next step within the Premier League that would have been maybe like taking the Everton job and then doing well, or
maybe if he was managing Ajax, he'd win the title too.
Yeah, it's true. No, it's true. You can't completely write people up, but it just didn't have. I don't get that feel from him, but he's done it brilliantly. At Ajax, at Brighton.
Plays great football.
The football that they play. And look, this is a Brighton team that, you know, they went to the Emirates and won. Yep. The following game, they went to Tottenham and won.
They own North London.
They own North London. They battered Wolves last week, 3-0 away from home. That's not easy to do. Yep. And they're going into this game with a lot of confidence after a middle part of the season that was really tough for Graham Potter.
And let me say, they've got some good players, man. You know what I mean? Trossard's been playing really well recently. Good. I've been really impressed with that Cucurella.
Cucurella is very
brilliant. Basuma, as we know, you know, no superstars, but all round a very good team, very good manager.
Yep.
Like you said, very good setup. I met a couple of their directors the other day when they played at Arsenal, you know, and I remember one of the directors saying to me, "Listen," he goes, "We're a team that's owned by local owners. We're not, you know, a Saudi oil-backed team or a Qatar oil-backed team or a Russian, where, you know," so he goes, "We have to operate and run sensibly, but we do that." And, you know, hats off to Brighton. You know what I mean? Still doing their business in the Premier League. So
and you forget, I was spending time there yesterday, just talking to the guys behind the scene. It's like, you forget they nearly went out of business.
I remember when they used to play at that stadium, the Wisden.
Yeah, that's right.
Which was literally...
It's a leisure centre.
It was a leisure centre with a track round.
Yeah. You think West Ham was far from the pitch?
Trust me, if you don't know, go onto YouTube and just Google that. Brighton at the Wisden Stadium.
Unbelievable.
And then you can see how far they've come.
They were one game away from literally it all beat what happened to Bury.
Absolute, you know? Absolute respect.
And now they've had 10 years at the Amex Stadium now as well. They've done really well and had a great direction.
And a fixture in the Premier League, and well done to them.
100%. On the game, though, Man United, we're playing for nothing. I can't predict how we will turn up. I can't predict how we will play. A lot of players are on the beach. It was nice to see us win a game comfortably against Brentford. Didn't mean much, but it was nice to see Ronaldo score. Nice to see, you know, Matic, see you later. That's nice. I'm going to go for a draw in this. I don't think we beat them. I
think you will.
Do you?
I think this is Brighton. I've got a bit of funny home record. I think United now. This guy here says, I don't agree with this, by the way, but El Paso says most of Ronaldo's games came in the last few games when there's no pressure. Where's this been all season against the better teams? Well, he was the guy, the leading light in the Champions League and things like that. But I do feel that what he's saying there's no pressure on United now. They can just go out, play. So I think they probably get a win.
Yeah.
But too little, too late, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a draw. I just can't predict how we're going to show up. The results of the poll are in. 58% out of pretty much 1,000 votes go with Benzema. Mane, 34%. Other 6%. So heavily in favour of Benzema.
Yeah, Benzema's a quality player, absolute quality player. But I still think if Liverpool win the Champions League, yeah, no, I'm going Mane. If they win the Champions League, Mane.
But you know what it is as well? I don't want to stay on it too long because we've got these other games to do. But I don't know. When you look at the Ballon d'Or, I think everyone kind of reads it differently. But you have to... How much of it is just the complete individual? Because it's an individual award. It's not a team award. It's an individual award versus what they've accomplished as part of a team as well. Do you know what I mean? Because just because your team won more than my team, that doesn't mean that you specifically were a better player than me specifically. But then because your overall team goal was achieved.
No, but also
that's where it becomes a bit muddy.
But I feel that if you're one of those players that have led, just like you said, Benzema has led from the front, so has Mane, right? I think if we were saying, for instance, right, that Mane had won the Euros, led his team to go through to the final of the World Cup against deadly rivals and won the Champions League, I don't even think it'd be a discussion.
Should Salah be mentioned?
Salah will be involved as well. I think Salah's going to be in the mix as well. He's been a bit quiet in recent months. I think ever since he came back in January after the African Cup of Nations, he's not been as hot as he was up until then. But I think Mane has been consistently brilliant this season.
Yeah.
But Benzema's been fantastic. It's a difficult one because Benzema has been absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah. All right, let's go through the rest of the weekend's games. Brentford against Southampton. Brentford coming off the back of a 3-0 loss. And Southampton, again, they're safe.
You don't know what Southampton are
going
to
to do,
Yeah.
Brentford have winless in their last 5 home games against Southampton in all competitions, drawing 2, losing 3. With the first time they are hosting the Saints since a 3-0 loss in League One in April 2011. And Southampton are looking to complete their first league double over Brentford since the 1954-55 season, following their 4-1 win at St Mary's in January.
Yeah, I'm going Brentford.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going Brentford at home. They're strong at home. With a lot of home games is for teams, it's their last couple games at home. They want to turn up for the fans. So that's why I'm going with a home win.
Would you take Ivan Toney at Arsenal?
Yes.
I remember when he had that interview at the beginning of the season where he was taking a couple jibes. And at that point, I remember you saying, you said, look, you're just new to the league. Settle yourself down, mate.
Yep.
Technically, he's done that. He's scored quite a lot of goals this year. He's been really influential for Brentford. You would take him at Arsenal?
Only if there's others coming.
Right.
So the other day we was, Arsenal being linked with Gabriel Jesus.
Mm-hmm. People
were saying to me, would you take Jesus and Tony? I said, yeah, I'll do that. I'll take it. Because I do think Arsenal lack a target man.
Yeah.
And Ivan Toney's a target man, and he's proved himself this season in the Premier League.
So if you could bring in Ivan Toney and Jesus as your 2 strikers, you'd go, do you know what? Well done, Arsenal. That's decent.
I'd rather Martinez.
Oh, flipping it. Well, yeah.
Milan and
Darwin Nunez and Vlahovic.
But you know what? Sometimes we look at the Darwin Nunez and
might
things
not
like
work
that,
out
and it might be the glamour name.
Yeah.
You got a guy's already done it, seen it in the Prem. So I wouldn't be against Ivan Toney.
Another one was Man United fans were talking about, and I say Man United fans were talking about, I spoke to a couple of Man United fans about it, but I was thinking about it myself, taking Christian Eriksen on a free.
He's been outstanding.
Matt is about to leave. You need squad depth.
He's been outstanding.
I look at the way, 100%, I look at the way that he's still capable of playing. He put in some great
I don't think there can be a more professional player than him in the league to be gone through what he's gone through. Remember, he's still having to wear a heart monitor right?
And he ain't just making up the numbers.
And he's not making up the numbers. Yeah. He's playing in the Premier League with that intensity. That means he must be training. It's not just these performances on the pitch. He must be training week in, week out with that heart condition. Listen, that guy's he's a bionic man.
Yeah,
right?
Literally.
He'll do the business at any club he goes to.
Let us know in the comments, even if you're not a Man United fan, if you are a Man United fan especially, but even as a neutral, do you think it'll be a good move for Man United? I know there's talks of him going back to Spurs as well.
Yeah, he would
but
be.
I'm looking at Man United going through transition.
Creativity as well.
Creativity, and you look at how Ten Hag wants to play. I think he could be a great weapon.
No, he'd be a good signing.
Yeah, and I know some people
wouldn't cost
disagree.
nothing.
KG said when I spoke to him about it, he was like, nah, because he'll feel too uncomfortable because he couldn't shout at him if he'd done something wrong. Because of what he's been through, he's like, we can't expect him to come to Man United. But I'm saying, nah, KG, that's a bit of a disservice. Exactly.
He's not looking for no pity,
that's a disservice to the man because he's come back from that unbelievable ordeal.
Well, he nearly died.
Exactly. And he wants to play. He wants to be on merit.
Listen, whoever he goes to is going to be a very lucky club.
Yeah, absolutely. So you went with a 2-1 Brentford win, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going for
Burnley against Villa. Massive for Burnley.
Massive.
The pressure's on. I think they're level on points with Leeds. Wow.
Yeah, level on points. I'll just go back to that league there. They're level on points They got 34 points, level with Leeds, but a better goal difference. If they win that game,
and Leeds got you,
I'm telling you, they're starting to move towards safety. And there was a lot of people. I remember having this discussion with Ty, and he was saying to me, "Oh, it was disgraceful for Burnley to get rid of Sean Dyche." And I said, "We will only know that at the end of the season."
Yeah.
Since he's gone, they've picked up big time. They've had the bounce that they've had. They were in the bottom 2.
Yeah.
And I think they will beat Villa.
I do.
Gerrard, no one's really been talking about Gerrard. I don't think he's done a very good job
we
since
he's
he's
been
been
at conversation, Robbie. Again,
it's
a lot of people. Listen, there's a lot of darlings in football.
He's a darling,
and he's a darling.
I don't think he's done a very good job since he's gone to Villa.
He's made them worse. I'm saying
he's got great players. They had a couple of games where Coutinho turned up, did all right, and since then,
the only thing that's saving him is the fact that he's come mid-season. And he's going to be able to get a transfer window himself. I know he had January and brought in, who did he bring in? He brought in Target. He brought in, no. No,
Target left.
Target left, sorry. So, but he brought in
Coutinho.
He brought in Digne.
Coutinho's been injured, to be fair, a lot.
Yeah. So he got injured, and obviously brought in the Coutinho thing.
But he's got good players, man. He's got good players. Danny Ings. What's the other forward?
Buendia.
There's Buendia. Douglas
Ings,
Luiz,
Watkins.
Ollie Watkins, that's what I was thinking. He scored a great goal
Leon
last
Bailey
week,
there.
by the way.
Yeah, he scored a wicked
Leon
goal.
Bailey.
You got players there, man.
Mings.
Jacob Ramsey doing well.
Ramsey in goal. He's got Martinez. I'm sorry, John McGinn. He's not done a very good. You compare what Patrick Vieira's done, for instance.
Exactly.
With lesser players.
They shouldn't be 15th. Like Billy says there, Villa have a good team. They shouldn't be 15th. I look at teams like, go back to the table again. Sorry, just quickly. I look at teams like Brighton. Look what Newcastle have managed to do.
Yep.
Palace. Aston Villa should be aspiring to be sort of
top
between,
10.
Yeah,
top 10.
Exactly.
I think Newcastle are 10th at the moment, right? And Villa have been really poor. They won their last game, so and that was a very good win for them, winning their last game. But yeah, I think Villa.
So you fancy Burnley for that, yeah?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I do. I think they've got the
Burnley at home.
Yeah.
Again, Villa haven't really got a lot to play for now. But yeah, Burnley at home. Yeah, 2-0 against, what was the last game they played? Norwich.
Yeah.
But that was their first win for
Norwich
ages.
Are down as well, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm going Burnley.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Burnley win.
Yeah.
Nick it.
I'll agree with you.
Another dead rubber game here, Chelsea versus Wolves.
Well, you say dead rubber. It's not a dead rubber for Chelsea because Chelsea currently operate in that third spot, right?
Could Chelsea drop out the top 4?
They're 3 points above Arsenal, right? So
could they drop out the top 4 though?
Well, listen, they're 3 points above Arsenal. I don't think they will, right? But when you say it's not a dead rubber,
5 points ahead of Spurs.
They're 3 points. They're 5 points ahead of Spurs, right? Who knows? They've been poor recently, Chelsea. Ever since they went out of the Champions League, they got a superior goal difference to both Arsenal and Chelsea, so that will help them a lot. They're going to make top 4, but it would be embarrassing for them if, say, for instance, they got leapfrogged by Arsenal and Arsenal finished 3rd. But they're playing against a team that's on the beach, Wolves. Wolves still, actually, when you think about it, they still got a chance of getting into...
Got an outside chance.
They've got a chance of getting into the Conference League in the 7th place. West Ham played a game more on 52. Wolves on 49. So they've got a chance of getting into that, but Wolves have been awful recently. They really have been poor.
They've just clocked out. I think Bruno Lage had some real good periods of the season where he was starting to build.
Yeah, and I think missing guys like Neves has been a massive miss for them. Yeah. But Chelsea, I think, have to win. I mean, could there be no Chelsea at the end of the season? That's the other question.
Well, I look at it, there's a bias there because the rival team coming in there.
No, but listen.
Do you think, I was listening to some of the reports on that where they're saying, listen, stop thinking like this, because apparently if they haven't got their license ready to trade by a certain time that the Premier League comes together and says, right, these are teams that are obviously going to be in the next year, then they can't
They
be
have
in it.
until the end of the month. That's the deadline
The government has sorted them out,
to
man.
sell the club.
You know why the government has
Right?
sorted them out?
And if they don't sell, now that Abramovich is sort of,
Yeah, he's digging his heels in.
looking like he's wanting to get some money out of it, they won't allow that to happen. So
The government won't let that happen, Rob. I think what will happen is the same way like the first shock factor thing. Oh, they're not going to have no games. They're going to have to stop. The away fans can't go nowhere. They
Save
went, right,
the bridge.
We'll give you a special license.
yeah.
So you can carry on.
But you know
if
what?
that happens before the
I
thing,
think
they'll
the
give them-
government have already given them a lot of concessions. So they're starting to move into the field now with the government where it's going to start looking bad. You know what I mean? It's going to start looking where like your complete favouritism towards Chelsea, where you haven't done that with other businesses that have been sanctioned.
Other clubs were going out,
Yeah, so
didn't help them.
They're under a lot of pressure, but I think Chelsea will be Wolves. They it would be embarrassing if they got past in third place. It really would. And I was thinking about Chelsea the other day, and I was like, if they don't win the FA Cup, what an underachievement for them as well. Because at the start of the season, there was a lot of people saying they could win the league. They bought Lukaku in. They were well set with the players they bought. I think a lot of people have forgotten that recently.
Yeah.
Sort of like what you were saying about City earlier. It's not like people have been saying little old Chelsea, but people have been kind of talking about
Well, because
other
that thing
things.
happened, it's like, they had a lot going on.
That happened late on in the season.
Yeah.
They're already way off by the time they got to that. I think Chelsea have really underachieved this season. It's been masked by, say, maybe them winning the Super Cup and that, but in the league...
Having said that, though, if they finish third, that's where we all thought they would finish.
No,
Behind City and
no. At the start of
Liverpool.
the, at the
Did you
start
think
of the,
they'd finish maybe
at the
above City
start
or
of the
Liverpool?
league, at the start of the season, a lot of people were saying they could win it.
Really?
There was pundits saying they could win it. They
I
remember they'd
always had
gone
City
out
and
there,
Chelsea,
they
me.
bought
City,
Lukaku
Liverpool.
in. They bought in Lukaku.
Yeah.
They'd added to the squad
Or at
a
least
lot,
challenge for it anyway.
and they've been nowhere near challenging. Have they?
Yeah, no, they haven't. Look at
know?
that. They're on 66 points
Yeah.
and Liverpool on 82. Okay, so you're going for a Chelsea win, though, having said all
Chelsea win.
that.
Chelsea win.
I think so. I think just Chelsea win. Won't be pretty, but I think they get it done. Crystal Palace against Watford. If Burnley or I think Everton
Watford.
nick a draw, they are all but confirmed as down.
No, they're gone already.
Yeah. It's
sure
tough times at Watford, man. Tough times. I mean,
I saw the other day that how many home games is it they've lost?
yeah, they got the record. I
It's
think I can't remember
ridiculous, man.
Yeah, they've set some bad records, man. And
Lost
Roy
their
Hodgson
last
thing-
5 games.
The Roy Hodgson thing, whilst when you need the great escape, I don't knock them for trying. I don't knock them for trying that at that moment. They were going nowhere fast.
But
with
the
Ranieri,
decisions
but-
made by their owners,
Yeah.
just sack, has flopped. In a way, the owners, not the fans. I feel sorry for the fans of Watford.
Absolutely.
I like Watford Football Club, but the owners, in a way, have got what they deserve. How can you just can't keep just sacking your way out of, but they're down.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can bounce back next season. They're like Norwich, where they're too good for the Championship, but not quite good enough for the Premier League. They need to have a rethink at Watford of how they're going to do.
They need a whole
things
different
in the
strategy.
future.
In a weird way, obviously it's complete different areas of the table, but how Man United needs a whole structural reset. That's what Watford need, because what they've tried to do hasn't worked. They've got players in there who obviously got, protection in terms of relegation clauses. They'll be off. Look at Sarr and Dennis, they're two best, but they'll probably be off. Like, they just need to strip it back down. Ironically, though, they're not actually. They get labelled a yo-yo club. I've done a bit of research. They've only been down, I think, like once or this will be their third time in like 14 years or something like that. Relegated.
You know
Mad.
You know who they should get? You know what they need a player like? Troy Deeney. You need players like that. When you're a team like Watford, that guy was the heart and soul of the team. That guy was the driving force. That guy was like the unofficial manager in the dressing room. Ever since they've gone, they've look how many home games they've lost.
Yeah.
They've just become flaky.
They've got no corrupt.
can't-
Sissoko's captain, just coming from nowhere, captain.
Can't
Just
move on a massive character like that.
Nah.
You can't underestimate what a guy like Troy Deeney brought to that football club.
Yeah.
Since he's gone,
And the old guard, when they had players like Maps, when Maps was there, when you had Delafeu, you had Etienne Capoue, you had Decore, you had Richarlison, you had
fighters.
Core, you had
fighters
you
at
had
the club,
in there,
and now
it's over now. Yeah,
it's very flaky, and you only have to look at their home form, and that gives you all the evidence you need. And
I hope they can bounce back,
the owner's got it completely wrong. I hope so do I. I like Watford Football Club.
Really good family club. Yeah. Crystal Palace are looking to complete their first league double over Watford since the 11-12 season in the Championship, following their 4-1 win at Vicarage Road in February.
Vieira,
in
done a
complete polar opposite with what's going on at Watford.
Yeah, fantastic job.
What have you thought of him?
I think he's been brilliant this season. At the start of the season, a lot of people were saying they're worried for him because of the amount of players that have been moved on.
Big task, yeah. Big task.
But he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
going for a Palace win there.
Palace win, yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. Leicester City versus Everton.
Ooh,
this is a massive game for Everton. Huge game. Their biggest problem has been on the road.
Yeah,
when they play it at Goodison, they can, they beat us. They gave City a good game. Beat you.
Should have beaten City.
Should have beaten Chelsea. They got robbed with the penalty. Right. Or they should have got a penalty against City.
Yeah, so you've got a draw.
Should have got, maybe.
Well, penalty could have
score it.
Yeah.
But they got robbed.
Yeah.
And last week against Chelsea, massive 1-0 win, clean sheet as well. But away from home, they've been absolutely awful.
Dreadful.
But Leicester are a really, really weird team. It's dead rubber for Leicester. They've had an awful season. They're smack bang in the middle of the league.
11th. But I think Brendan Rodgers might be looking to try and finish at least in the top 10.
Yeah.
They've of course they're playing in the Conference League
against Roma.
If they win that, a final, it could still be a good season for Leicester. I think Everton are catching them at a very good time. You know? Because obviously I've got a friend who's a Leicester fan, and I was chatting to him. He messaged me during the week, said he's going to Rome for the game. He's asked me what the Roma ultras are like.
Hope you advise them well.
Keep your head down, mate. You know what I mean?
Maybe watching the bar or something.
Yes, but obviously they're putting a lot on that game. That's the game they want to win, is that game, so that they could get into the final of the Conference League. It'd be a European trophy, possibly for Leicester, which would go down as a successful season. So I think Everton are catching them at the right time. I could see a shock in this game of Everton actually going and getting a result on the road. I don't think it's going to be a win, but I think Everton could get a draw in this game. Catching Leicester at the right time.
And really a draw in the context of it, if they just avoid defeat, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that Leeds lose at Arsenal.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, I know you are. So anything that Everton will be able to pick up, these are the margins now. Obviously, they'll have an eye on what happens between Burnley and Villa, but if Everton can pick up anything, I think Leeds are the ones who are, I don't want to be rude, but almost certain to lose for me. Stranger things have happened because they are fighting.
Yeah.
Arsenal got to show up. It's not going to be an easy game, but I just see them winning.
Just you're not being disrespectful. You're just going off of stats. Plus the fact that they're away from home.
Yeah.
Everton, as I said, catching Leicester at the right time. Burnley,
so you think draw?
Maybe I might even sway towards the Everton win.
Really?
Yeah.
Leicester. I mean, Leicester.
I'm actually going to go.
They could win at anyone. It would.
I'm actually going to go for Everton win, just based off the fact that Leicester have got such a huge game tonight. I think that we all know what it's like.
They win it though. They could be on an absolute high.
That's true.
And they're playing against Jose Mourinho's Roma in Rome.
Yeah, you come off the back of
they win that. They're going to be on.
True.
Everton are getting a hiding if they win. If Leicester win. But if they don't win, it's like, season's just
fizzling out.
So maybe.
Plus,
so I think it actually depends on this game.
A lot of teams on the back of playing in Europe, West Ham, for instance. You look at their record; it's been shocking after any time they play in the in Europe. So I know we're going on to them now, but I'll go for a draw. I'll stay with the draw.
Okay. Norwich already down. West Ham. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen tonight, but travelling to Norwich, I mean. Even if they lose tonight in Frankfurt, do you still see them going to beat Norwich, or do you think it would just be if they lose flat? It's hard to call that, isn't it? Hard to call.
I might go for pressure's off Norwich now. Just go for it.
Yeah.
I could see a shock here,
Norwich win, yeah?
Yeah. West Ham after Europe have been terrible.
What if they win in Frankfurt from 2-1 down?
Still, but they're going to have so many players. Antonio, all those guys probably.
I don't even think they would care. Well, no, don't think they wouldn't care.
Although they've still got Europe to fight for in the fact that they're in 7th place now.
Yeah. They want to push for the Europa League.
I don't know if they catch you. Yeah, they could still.
Yeah, well, if we lost 2 on the bounce, and
could kind of catch you, but I think
they've got a game in hand on us as well.
What they want to make sure is they're at least in that Conference League. Much as it'd be anticlimax to be in that, but European football for West Ham is important. So, yeah, And by the way, we're doing a watch along for their game tonight, West Ham. I'm going to be hosting that. West Ham taking on Frankfurt. That's a tough game, man. I've been to Frankfurt. I'll tell you, them Frankfurt fans has a brilliant atmosphere in that stadium. So, but I'm going to shock, man. Norwich.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've got no strong feelings
Norwich
on this one, so yeah, okay, I'll match you on that.
You go with a shock?
Yeah, I'll go with a shock. Why not make it interesting? I think we have covered all the games from this weekend's schedule. Wow. Let us know in the comments what you think about what we've spoken about today. We've spoken about Mane and Benzema with the battle for Ballon d'Or. We've spoken about Manchester City's mentality. Will it be fractured? We've talked about Arsenal's top 4 hopes and versus Tottenham against Liverpool as well. And looking at that, we haven't spoken about Man United because we didn't need to. We're done. It is, but next season.
But Ten Hag?
1 Ten Hag, 2 Hag, 3 Hag, 4 Hag, 5 is it 10 Hag? What's a new song for him? You know what I mean?
You lot good at making songs. Right?
Yeah, I ain't part of no. Until I see someone win something, I ain't on no hype train or no nothing, mate. I'm in a very humble place
songs.
right now.
You know what? Players come, right? I remember saying to one fan at Arsenal one time, I can't make no song for Xhaka. He goes, Robbie, you got to earn your songs.
Yeah.
I was like, actually, you're right. You got to earn your songs, man.
Yeah, well, Cavani's come here for a little bit, hardly ever plays, and he's got one of the best songs going. We've got our priorities all wrong. Anyway, smash a like on this video and subscribe to DR Sports if you are new. As Rob said, later on he will be hosting the watch-along for West Ham's crucial semi-final against Eintracht Frankfurt. What a game that's going to be.
Subscribe to his channel, United View.
Big up.
I heard you're going on a little scouting mission.
Potentially, all will be revealed. All will be revealed. Yeah, might have to
look out for his scouting mission.
They know what it's like when KG's looking at scouts. You know what I mean?
But subscribe to DR Sports. Thank you to everyone who's been subscribing. Actually, it's been brilliant this season, and some of the fans that have been. I mean, actually, Raul.
What a legend.
Raul, the Real Madrid fan. You are a legend.
He's a legend. What a nice guy.
Fantastic.
Nice guy. Big up, guys. Speak soon.